What's going on, good people? Rich here.
School in the building. What's happening?
It's your girl Ray P on the mic. What's going on, y'all?
Back at you again with another episode of the Culture Garden Podcast.
Yes.
No fumbles in the intro, man. Everybody got
Hey.
their joints off, man.
You think we professionals?
Right. Glad to have everybody back with us for another week. We appreciate y'all. Special week this week, honestly. It's episode 25 for us.
Yeah.
Hey.
It's been interesting just because the Culture Garden has been around since late 2020, September 2020, I'd say. So really a little bit over 2 years. But we only put out like 3 episodes when we first came out, and then, did nigga shit, and then came back and put out a few more episodes, and then did nigga shit, and then Ray P did Best Man with us. It was like, oh yeah, Ray P gonna be down. Going from there. So this year we actually been taking it. So even though it's episode 25, it feels like, it's just now getting started because we just now like consistently been putting out episodes every week and all that stuff. So it's fun times. Ray, you got a favorite episode so far?
Ooh. I'm gonna have to say The Best Man. One, because it was my first episode, but that shit was so fucking funny and good. Like,
I think that's the best
oh
episode
my
we definitely put out
gosh.
collectively. And we put out some good ones, but I think that was it.
Yeah, I was so nervous.
What about you?
I'm agree to that one.
Best Man?
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's our best episode for sure that we've done. It just felt that was just smooth. House Parties, a favorite of mine. Five Heartbeats, of course, is a favorite. Love Jones is a favorite. Sneaky favorites are Next Friday and not Coming to America, but Nutty Professor. Those 2 episodes, I listen to them every now and then to get weak, man. We was like,
get weak.
Yeah, those are funny movies. But yeah, episode 25, we had to come with a heavy hitter. So as you can see in the title, we're doing Training Day.
Yeah, buddy.
We'll get into that here in a second. Before we do, please remember to subscribe, review, comment, the whole nine. We definitely appreciate it. It goes a long way with us and what we're trying to do here at the podcast. So thank you for your continued support on that. It just dawned on me last week, a few days ago, Rachel and I celebrated and school, because school was on an episode of We Got Y'all podcast. Broke down season 5. That was a lot of fun. Some of my favorite work that I've been a part of with the podcast. So if you check our link in the bio, you click the We Got Y'all. It's our television link. We've only done Insecure so far, but that was a really good time. It's been a year since season 5 started. So if you've got
crazy.
So if you miss it, go ahead and check it out. And then also we do have the Black Panther Wakanda Forever ticket giveaway. Remember, you have to be following us on Instagram. Leave us a review on iTunes, not iTunes, but Apple Podcast. And or a comment on YouTube, whatever the case may be, and just DM us and let us know you did it, since we don't know everybody personally.
Right.
And then we'll put you in a giveaway for it. So more news on that as the movie gets closer. Training Day, y'all.
Woo! Class.
I mean,
boom is right.
Yes.
It's only right the person at the intro of all of our episodes. If you're listening, it's not on YouTube, but if you're listening, you hear Denzel's voice every intro.
Yes.
We hadn't done a Denzel movie, which is nuts.
Which is crazy. I would have think y'all would have started with a Denzel movie, considering, like you said, the intro. But I think 25 is a good place to start.
Absolutely.
25 is definitely a good place to start. And now they're going to keep rolling in because it's Denzel.
That's right.
And we get to talk about Training Day, of course. Like I said, it released October 5th, 2021. Was supposed to release September 21st.
2001.
Yeah, that's what I said, didn't I?
21.
Yeah, you said 2001.
Yeah, 2001. My bad. I don't know. 2001. It was supposed to release September 21st, 2001, but they pushed it back because of 9/11. Obviously, if you were there or remember that time, cops, firefighters, they were heroes. The last thing you wanted to do was see somebody in a negative light.
Yes.
So they did push the movie back a few weeks, but they had a lot of other stuff going on. It didn't have to do with just one police department as far as the LAPD, which they focus on. You can find this in any police department, any kind of organization. It's corruption all over the place, no matter what you're a part of. People drunk with power. And this movie does a good job of breaking all that down. It had a budget of $45 million and it made $104,876,233 million.
Talk about a return on your investment.
Exactly.
Yeah, buddy.
Directed by Antoine Fuqua. He had only done like The Replacement Killers and Bait up to that time.
Really?
Shout
Yeah.
out to Jamie.
Yeah, shout out to Jamie. And that was 98 and 2000. And
Yeah.
Denzel requested him. Davis Guggenheim was supposed to direct this film. And Denzel became attached to it. Well, before we even get there, Rachel, do you know who was supposed to be in these roles originally?
I don't.
Samuel Jackson was supposed to be Alonzo, and Matt Damon was supposed to be Hoyt.
I could see both of those.
Yeah, and Davis Guggenheim was supposed to direct. Things fell through. Denzel got involved, wanted to do the movie. Met with Antoine Fuqua after seeing Bait. Ironically, he wanted to meet with Antoine, and they kind of hit it off. He said, "All right, I want him to direct it," so he requested Guggenheim to be replaced. That's the point of Denzel. And then Ethan Hawke just came along. Antoine Fuqua saw him on TV one day and said, "There's something about him that makes me think he's Jake. That's Jake Hoyt." And we talk about that a lot with filmmakers. Like, they have it in their head. So when they know, they know.
Yeah,
he saw it. Like, that's
great example of that is the 5 Heartbeats pod. Check that out.
Yeah. We talked about that one and that for sure. It was written by David Ayer. The first screenplay was actually finished in 1995. He was the sole writer, which is extremely rare. Like, I can't stress enough how rare that is for one writer to be on a film. To the point where he got a congratulatory call from the chairman of Warner Brothers after the film's success.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much you did that.
Yeah.
Like, you made us a ton of money. Like, you the guy.
No rewrites, nothing like that. Usually scripts come around. Somebody got to rewrite this. It's a little too something. So for sure, shout out to him.
But how much of the script was Denzel ad-libbing or what we see on film?
So we'll talk about it. There was a lot of Antoine and Denzel.
They niggified it a lot.
They made it. We can say it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Real quick before we get into it, it's always a struggle story. So he wrote this in 95. He didn't even have a refrigerator or a couch, anything, but he knew he had like a great script, and it took 6 years to get it made, and then it happened. But let's flip back to Antoine. He's the one that this film was supposed to be like a ride along. We in the car all day. Wild shit happens. Whatever the case is. And it was Antoine Fuqua. It was like, nah, let's like bring people to the streets, like bring them into it. Like this film, I know we always talk about characters or cities being a character in films. LA was such a character, and it was real. Every time I watched this, I believe there were no extras. These were the real people living in them places.
Yeah.
This is the first time that they were able to film, that Imperial Courts they ever allowed camera crews in their neighborhood. This is the first movie they ever did that. They got The Jungle, which is real life. Insecure did it. Ironically, we talked about it earlier. They did it in season 3, but they were able to film in the jungle because they had connections, and they wanted to bring. Antoine Fuqua said, "I wanted to bring Denzel to the kids. Like, I wanted them to see Denzel. I wanted to see a Black director. I wanted to see them, let them see there's a bigger world outside of this." And it was very authentic. And Denzel was just on one. Like every story that I've read about that set, like Denzel just, for lack of better terms, had his nuts out the whole time.
He did.
It was just straight up Alonzo. That there were scenes they cut out that they just said it was too much. Like, we had to tone him down. I personally, like, we had to pull it back some because Alonzo was out here wilding, and he took that to another degree. And part of that, I'm sure, is because Denzel doesn't play characters like that often. No. Especially in 2001.
Yeah.
So we'll get to Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I wonder if Denzel gets into like method acting, and so he is that character even once they say cut. Like, I just wonder. I would love to just watch him on set.
That is,
unless he's directing. Obviously, you have to come out. But
I think that's the one actor out of anyone I love to just sit down and just watch them do their craft, watch them work. Because I don't know, I've never heard a direct story. There are some famous method actors that have, documented very well, but I've never really heard that about Denzel. But I will say, in this film, Antoine Fuqua said Alonzo was on set, not Denzel. He said Alonzo was on set. So I guess in certain roles, especially when it's out of your comfort zone, I guess, for lack of better terms, and Denzel has said himself, like, this is his favorite character to play because it's probably so left field of who he is. Like, Alonzo's the guy that everybody wants to be, like, in a sense, as far as like he says what people want to say. He just kind of has this swag about him. I can't believe I just said swag, man.
Has that power.
You old.
I know, right? He has, he has that charm to him. He just has everything that you would want to be, and that's what Jake is aiming for.
Yep.
And you can see how he's, you're drawn to him. The audience, you're
Mhm.
drawn to him every single time he's on screen. Incredible performance by Denzel.
Absolutely.
Training Day ties to the Rampart scandal. We're not gonna get into it here, but police corruption.
Google is free.
You said what?
Google is free.
Yeah, Google is free. Police corruption.
Absolutely.
Fill in the blanks. We've heard this story before, but it was a real thing. Even though like the whole crash unit wasn't around when this film drops, like everything was coming out about like Rafael Perez. That's the reason Denzel grew a goatee, because he wanted to look more like Rafael Perez. Like I said, type it in, Google's your friend. This movie is currently streaming on HBO Max. So if you want to watch it, if you don't own it, you can watch it on HBO Max. Awards.
Oh man.
So
Award season.
obviously, and the funny thing about this, and I want to see if you guys would agree with me on this. The performances were way better than the movie, right?
Yes.
Like, I love the movie, but the
movie,
the performances took this to a whole nother place. This wasn't an Oscar movie.
No.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was an upset when he won this Oscar. Like, Russell Crowe had won every single previous award. All the awards that lead up to the Oscars, they always say if you win those, you're normally gonna win your Oscar.
Yep.
He was winning all those for Beautiful Mind, and Denzel won his Oscar for this. You think that's because they robbed him in the Hurricane?
Mind.
Yes.
What else was up? Will Smith for Ali.
Will Smith for Ali. It was heavyweights that year.
Heavyweights that year, and Denzel shook up the world.
Rachel, you said it was a makeup for Hurricane?
I think so. Shit, Hurricane, Glory. What?
He won for Glory,
but
he did win for Glory.
He's been enough roles in between this and Glory that he should have won another.
He should have won. Yeah.
Yeah, he's Michael Jordan. You know, when you can literally say like he gets the MVP every year. Like he should get best actor every year. If you can't do it, don't work like that. But absolutely. But I think it was well deserved. Do you want to have a conversation? Do you think that he deserved it over? Was it a better performance than Will gave you in Ali?
It's tough. I think one of the biggest things about Denzel's role here and what makes it 100 times better is that I'll give you an example. Someone that I work with never saw this movie, but he's seen a lot of Denzel movies. So you go into this movie and you think, okay, Denzel, I'm going to see Denzel be a cop. He's going to be a nice cop. And then you get in there and you like, hold the hell on. That's the best thing about this movie. So even if you've never seen this movie, I applaud people who've never seen it, and you get that experience again, to experience Denzel like you've never experienced him before, man. It's a hell of a thing. I guess the closest would be American Gangster.
But even that, it was toned down. It was more of a cool, subtle, I'm the boss. Like this was just
a quiet power.
His moments. Don't get it twisted. But in this, sheesh.
Yes, he's really he hasn't played that. Like, I don't want to jump around too many conversations, so I'll ask this question in a minute. But of course, like I say, he won the Best Actor. He was the first Black person to have 2 Oscars for Best Actor.
Yep.
Obviously Best Supporting in Glory, and then he got this. And it's the only time that somebody who's won Best Actor, a Black man, was also directed by another Black person. What else did he win? American Film Institute Awards. He won that for Actor of the Year. He won the All Deaf Movie Awards for Best Bad Motherfucker Award. And that's a real thing. I didn't know it was. The ALMA Awards, they won Excellence in Makeup and Television. He won an ASCAP, or not he, but number 1 by Nelly. Was that a hit? Did you like Nelly growing up, Rachel?
Sure.
I say Nelly had 2 years where he was the biggest thing, but Nelly was hot.
He did. I mean, EI was my shit.
EI was hot. Black Reel Awards. They had Best Film, Best Director, Best Actor, and Best Film Poster. And so many other award shows and the whole nine that we're not going to go through now. And also want to give it up to Ethan Hawke, because he was nominated for Best Supporting. ironically, he had less film time, or he had more screen time in Training Day than Denzel. But he was up for best supporting because, once again, Denzel dominated this film.
Yes.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. Rounding out the cast, we also had Scott Glenn as Roger. Tom Berenger, Harris Yulin, and Raymond J. Berry all played the three wise men, Stan, Doug, and Lou. Cliff Curtis is Smiley, and then we had appearances from Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Macy Gray, and Eva Mendes. So we found out a very real cast.
Yeah.
Very interesting the cast, and a cast that you wouldn't think, if I didn't know anything about the movie and just saw all these people in it, I'm like, what is this?
What is this?
But man, it played out well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say this, and I want to. Hopefully, y'all follow where I'm going with it.
Okay.
I think Ethan Hawke is the most important thing about this film.
Okay.
I think he's the most important thing about this film, especially if you know you have Denzel, because Denzel's gonna be Denzel. The reason this film is just so great Denzel performance, decent movie. The reason everybody loves this film is because Ethan Hawke delivered. And in 2001, I don't know how many people could have stood toe to toe with Denzel and brought it every single scene. Their chemistry was electric. Like, they were talking, they had stories on set where like the whole crew would just stop and just be mesmerized with their back and forth. And Antoine Fuqua told stories about, he'd say cut and they'd still be in Alonzo and Jake mode. And he'd be like, no, grab the camera, like keep rolling. And there's so many shots that he missed because they were just on fire. Do you agree with that sentiment? Like, I think Ethan Hawke makes this movie what it is. He's not going to stop Denzel because nobody is. But this movie's not as good if Ethan Hawke doesn't bring it.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree or disagree. Now that you threw Matt Damon in there, I would be very interested to see what sort of chemistry he and Denzel had. And for back then, and he may not have been able to do it. I don't know if Leo would have been like scruffy enough.
That's
I could see anybody
Leo's
in that role.
because Leo can play innocent. Matt Damon can play innocent. I don't know. Matt Damon might have been a little too much for it. The other person who actually had the role was Tobey Maguire. Like, he was following. Especially in 2001.
Tobey would have ruined this movie. And the only reason I say that is his antics outside of acting was Google's your friend. Look up Tobey Maguire in 2000 and 2001, what type of shit he was on. And Denzel was not the one for that type of shit.
And was that before Spider-Man? When did Spider-Man come out? 02?
02.
Okay. I was gonna say, if that was at Spider-Man time, there's no way you can put Spider-Man in the movie.
No.
That's interesting. I don't know, but I think Ethan Hawke was
He was stellar. He was stellar, but I could see anybody in there.
I agree 1,000%. There is no one that could have played this. You need Ethan specifically for that. I think it was Fuqua who said that Ethan, like you said, had something. Like, he had that innocence, but it was something else that I believe he said it seemed like he had seen something. You could tell he's seen something in his life. Ethan carries that role, that innocence, but like you said, the prime example, the scene where he not to go ahead, but where he pulls the gun on Denzel's character, on Alonzo, and say, "This is the second time you put a gun on me. It won't be a third." Like, you need that. Like, I know that he has something. Like, he ain't no pushover. You needed that, man. You needed that.
Yeah, he carried the line very evenly because he was very, they say his ambition was his character flaw. That was that was the thing that made him human. Yeah. He compromised his morals because he wanted to be Alonzo. You should see those guys' houses.
And that was the best part.
Yeah, he wanted to do that for his family. You can't fault him for that. But like I said, he compromised his morals over and over again. He let Alonzo talk him into so much nonsense over and over again because he was ambitious and he had that innocence, and that it can't be like this. Like, he played both sides, but like you said, when it was time to turn it on, he turned it on.
Is it because he was ambitious or because he was a rookie trying to impress and show his superior that he could do the job. I didn't think it was so much ambition of just more so me trying to prove myself. I'm ready for this. I trained for this. I can do this
Yeah.
work. So let me
Yes. Now,
see.
I agree a little bit with that, but then there's something about him because you could put what's our section? I wouldn't let this happen to me. You could put
Mhm.
all of that, his whole shit into I wouldn't let this happen to me. But there's something about him that makes you feel like he wasn't really going for that. Like he got tricked by Denzel's character, by Alonzo, his narcissistic character.
Narcissism.
Yes, his narcissism and all that crap that he kept tricking him.
I think they're tied together, honestly, because
Okay.
he wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for his ambition. Like he was definitely trying to impress him because he wanted to be Alonzo. He wanted to have that control. We see Alonzo's ambition. Alonzo wants to be one of the three wise men. He wanted to be the
Yeah.
guy, chilling at the restaurant, off the streets and stuff like that. Everybody wanted. They were doing what they had to do in order to get to that next level.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Because there's too much that Jake saw way too early on that would have been like, I'm out. Like I'm not. This ain't me.
Yes. A hell of a first day.
Yeah, because at some point, like I don't care about impressing you no more. Like you sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I think the conversation's already started. So I think it's a unanimous classic or nah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's even up for debate. That's easy. Yeah, it just covers so many bases. This Training Day covers every single base you can think of. Just power, just how manipulative. I can't talk.
Manipulative.
Thank you. Alonzo was, and
Yeah,
just
he's crazy.
egotistic, and just he only cares about himself, and he thinks he's invincible. Like he really thinks that he's
Facts.
There's the scene in the shootout when he was in Imperial Courts after he robbed the Sandman's wife, and just the way he two guns going with the bullets, like shoot, like he couldn't believe, like he really thought none of them bullets gonna touch me. Like I'm Alonzo, like I'm the police, like I'm the guy. Like, and then he carried that in every scene, but also knew how to flip it, knew exactly what to say, how to get himself out of every situation. You can see how he became who he is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
15,000 years, man years, and I think he read off all his stats. It was ridiculous. So
yeah, and I like the fact that the film just focused. They talked about it. The director and the writer just. What happens if somebody says no? You got this big power, this big machine. They intentionally wanted to make sure Alonzo wasn't just this rogue cop, just this guy doing his own thing. Like they wanted to make sure he was a part of the system. Like this is a much bigger thing than Alonzo. So what happens if you get somebody in this system and they say no? What happens in that scenario? And they focus around that, and I think they knocked it out the park with just that premise.
Yeah.
It was.
I agree with you. I think that was one of my sort of pet peeves about the movie, though.
What's that?
Yes, what do you do when you get somebody that says no? But usually when you have established a rapport, enough of a rapport, so when you kind of can figure out what they're going to go for and what they're not going to go for. So, I mean, I said it earlier, like hell of a first day. Some of that shit, this ain't first day. I don't know you like that to even put me and the niggas I do fuck with in any kind of danger because you're a loose cannon because we don't know you. Like this is an established crew, and then here you are. Like
You mean like the Roger scene, the scene with Roger and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an interesting. Let's have this conversation. So let me ask you this, Rachel. Sometimes I get lost on how much of this Alonzo had planned versus how much he came up with on the fly. Like
I think a lot of it was on the fly.
A lot of it was on the fly. Like I think we can all agree that he handpicked Jake. But I don't know what Alonzo's original idea of how the day was going to go was.
I think that it was going to be a regular quote unquote ride along. And then when Roger knew about Alonzo's Vegas trouble, he knew that he had to start shaking some shit up and come up with that money because again, he didn't know who he had fucked with, him and that unchecked power,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and so I think from there it was just a series of crazy things. I think that he did plan on getting them a little high. Let me see what the fuck you want, like all of that planned, premeditated.
Yeah.
Will you have a drink with me in the car? Like, are we going to be able to be true comrades? Will we be able to establish what kind of relationship is this going to be? But then once he knew that he was in hot water, motherfucker, okay, yeah, you here, but I got to make some shit shake for myself. And that is what we saw. Panicked thinking.
Yeah. And I think that he definitely the PCP and the weed and all that. I just think that was he they said in the movie, like, nobody trusts you if you don't got a little dirt in this business.
Yeah,
Like, he
I
wanted to
saw
have
that
some dirt on
plan.
him just because no matter what's gonna happen today, like, I want to at least have this on over you. I want to have this over your head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, you got some shit in your system that I know about. I'll make sure your shit gets to the lab if you keep acting up. Like,
Right.
Right.
so I agree. I don't. What about you? I don't know if he had the whole day
Yeah,
planned out, but he knew he had, like you said, Rachel, he had to make something shake.
I agree. I think he had a lot for what we know. Like you said, the trouble he got in. Hoyt was, I'm sure, going to be part of the team regardless. Now,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, now I got all this trouble I'm in. I got to make some shit shake. And I think that Lonzo thinks that his team is so big and everybody wants to be on it that, yeah, he gonna put up with a lot of shit because he want to be part of my team. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you gonna smoke this dope? Yeah, you mad about it? So what? Go ahead, get out. We gonna park in the middle of the street. Go home. Get out of here. You a pussy. Bye. What you gonna do? Give me that. I'm gonna smoke it. I'm gonna drink it. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, very abusive, man.
Yeah.
Very, like, yeah. Man, it's just a bad relationship, man.
You
That's all
could
I'm gonna say.
tell.
Hey, he told them boys, he said, them college kids. He said, well, you gonna get
Education
education
today.
today.
You could tell from that first diner scene that Alonzo was gonna be a motherfucker. You just didn't know what he was gonna be on, but you could tell very early, like, oh, he like went crazy a little bit.
Mhm.
So let's
Loved
let's
it.
get into best scenes. But before we do, I do have a couple questions.
Okay.
One is, what does it say about me that I'm upset every time Alonzo dies? What does that say about me?
It doesn't say anything to me. This is the most attracted to Denzel I've been since Mo Better Blues.
Well, no,
So
all right. So I'm the character himself. Are you all right, Issa?
I like
Come on,
that
Issa.
crazy shit low key. I don't know.
Uh, but nah, like, do either one of you have any kind of emotion? Like, Alonzo's a terrible human being, like an awful human being, one of the worst. And I already have a thing with, like, anti-heroes.
Mhm.
Like, I really got a soft spot. Your Walter Whites, your Jax Tellers, your Tony Sopranos, the whole nine.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't even think Alonzo's an anti-hero. He just evil. Like, I don't think
Yeah,
there's anything.
he's the
I
true
can't look at.
antagonist.
You said what?
He's the antagonist.
Yeah,
He's
like,
horrible.
yeah. So I mean, I don't think I've ever liked someone that evil and, like, rooted for him at the same time. Like, there's no reason I should want Alonzo to escape this. Like, he's an awful person. But
Oh.
every single time I'm salty, like, damn, man, I just wanted Alonzo to just keep on being out here. And he was bad. Like, I don't know why I feel that way. That's why I said, does that say something bad about me?
No, it says a lot about
Denzel.
it says a lot about just the movie, the writing, Denzel, just
Mhm.
how good and great and how manipulative he was to us as the viewers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
y'all 2 for 2 on that word, man. I got to get it before the episode ends. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Just how he did us as the viewers, like, because like you said, I feel the same way. Like, damn, they ain't have to clap, and the way they got him, like, they ain't have to do him that bad.
Nah,
like,
they did, man. You reap what you
and
sow. He just got Roger like that a few hours earlier.
yeah,
He
and
going out the same way.
I think a lot of it too is we didn't know the Russian guy. Like, they didn't give us a side of the Russian side. We don't know we can care less about him for real because we don't know him. Like, but we
Yeah.
know Lonzo,
Yeah.
so that's
To
all.
your point, school, I think I would have preferred, quote unquote, for the neighborhood niggas to get them versus the Russians.
I
Like, if
agree.
they would
Mm.
have
I
shot
agree.
him up outside, you've
It
been
would have
fucking
meant a
with
little
them for
more.
however many years. Like, you come over there, like you actually live there, like you run the place, talk shit to people. what Bone said, man, I can't stand that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Like
I would be.
that sort of street justice, I would have preferred it come from the streets, not this Russian mob, because
Yeah.
now it's racial.
In a sense, it's funny you say. In a sense, they gave that to us, by them turning him over to Hoyt.
Yeah.
They gave it to us a little bit, but I agree that would have been dope too. What it would have been better is if the hood would have came and saved them from the Russian niggas and then clapped them.
And then, right, yeah, now you ours to deal with. Like, you got to put in your own work. You ours. Oh my God, is this what turned Terry Crews off of black people? What's going on?
Oh man,
Some pigeons, man.
Terry Crews clapping pigeons. He's probably never even heard of that before this film.
Never, man. We ain't even about to bring the mood down by talking about him. But
transition.
Yeah. But yeah, man, all good points. Alonzo's just an awful person, but I root for him every time.
Yeah.
I'm upset every time. It is what it is, though. I do have one quick question. Let's get into the best scenes. This isn't my best scene, but what do y'all think he said to that? What do you think Alonzo said to that woman on the phone in the morning? What did he say? What did he say to Jake's wife that had her giggling and
Smiling
shit? I always want to know what he said.
Man,
I don't have to give a real answer, but that always gets me weak. Like, he was on the phone saying some other shit.
It's Denzel, man.
Hey, Denzel.
Just that voice alone, even in the character of Alonzo, like that motherfucking voice. Estoy mojada.
Man, Denzel, man, he just got it, man.
That's
He
it.
That's why, like, I think that's why, like, it's hard to watch him, like, die, even though he's terrible.
Yeah.
There are plenty of times in the film, I'm sure everybody wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, at some point, he's gonna be good, right? It is what it is.
I never thought that. I just was turned
School.
on.
School. What you got for best scenes, man?
The first one I wrote down is the coffee shop scene. Of course, the introduction.
The diner.
Like, the diner.
Same.
It does exactly what I said. It starts off, if you've never seen the movie, just a typical Denzel. You like, oh shit, Denzel. And Ethan Hawke's a great character. And then they get to talking, and you see Denzel get annoyed. Like, yo, I'm reading this paper. Tell me a story. Like, all that, man. Denzel's that guy, man.
That was the first thing I wrote down to school. I mean, obviously it essentially opens the movie, but just again, we see like, what is this dynamic gonna be? Who is this madman reading this paper in these glasses?
Yes.
Yeah, the way he grilled him about that story, the way Jake think he really doing something, tell him I'm about to pull out that DUI story on him. I couldn't care less, like everything about it, man.
That one part didn't age well.
Anyway, what do y'all think Alonzo got his car? Where do you think he got his Monte Carlo? You think that's his car, or you think he stole that from somebody?
No, that's his shit that he bought with dirty money.
Yeah.
Okay, he bought it with dirty money, but I could see Alonzo taking that from like the impound or something.
From the impound.
Some drug dealer's car is mine now. And I'm about to ride through your neighborhood every week and show you that I'm riding your shit.
Hey, that's probably why old boy hated him. He got his own whip.
Yeah.
Lowest the keys. You might be right.
What you got, Rachel? Give me, what's the next thing you got?
The next one I'm gonna say is in the car when Alonzo makes Jake smoke. And we kind of already touched on it, but that whole, again, the power dynamic, let me see what you're gonna do. You got to do something. The best narcotics agent knows narcotics, so it was crazy. You just thought this was some whack ass weed, not PCP.
Right.
Now you're getting wet, like that whole thing was crazy. That's one of my favorite scenes. Just so now I know you're a villain.
Yeah.
Put the gun to his head. Told him ASAP. Told him get out the car like you said earlier. School.
Stop in the middle of the street. Come on, man.
Yep, and was so matter of fact about it. There was this film had a lot of great intimidation.
Yes.
Whether it was this scene, whether it was, I know we'll talk about the Smiley scene, like asking him to see his gun. Like, it was just that moment where it wasn't forceful. Alonzo's is a little bit more, but just that, like, you in a situation right now, I'm putting you on the spot. Like, what's up with your strap? Like, nigga, you gonna freeze up? Yeah, what you gonna do? Yeah, a lot of that, man. I love that scene. I would even go stretch that into going to Roger's house. You know, the whole
First time.
PCP scene, going into Rogers, us meeting Roger. What did was Roger retired police? Was he a drug? Like, what was Roger's thing?
He said they were after his pension. He was also a police officer, and you know, he is who took Alonzo out. That's his first ride. Was with Roger. He got
So
caught
that
up
must
in
have been
some
my first
shit.
account.
Mm-hmm.
That what he meant when he was
Mm-hmm.
talking to the three wise men. All right, I never
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he obviously must have got to some shit because he went to jail and
Yeah.
had hitting all that money in the floor, you know.
That's why
But
I was
he was able to
confused.
keep his pension, whatever.
That's why I was confused, because they mentioned the pension. They also mentioned him going to jail. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on with him, and obviously the drug dealers thing. So, all right, cool. But obviously we learned about Jake in that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Learned about, you know, strong safety, huh? You see Alonzo kind of have a little bit of different respect for him. We know, like you said, Jake's not a pushover. We got a little bit of something to him, even though he's green. The streets, you know, the snail, that story, that's about the streets and the people. You know, people always keep coming back. People are snails and the streets are the streets, man. They always gonna win every single time. Smiles and cries, the whole thing. You just kind of learn a little bit about this dynamic. It throws you off a little bit because you kind of see Alonzo almost start having a little respect for him. Like, all right, maybe there's more to this Jake guy that I don't know. But that fades. He going right back to his plan ASAP. I'll round that out to the alley scene.
Okay.
I mean, that's the top scene. Like I'll watch that over every time I watch this film. Like I'll rewind that and watch it again just because I enjoy it that much. That was the one time that Jake used he did what his heart told him to do. You know what I mean? Like his heart told him to do stuff, and he's like, "Nah, I'm compromising. I don't care what's going on. I just seen this girl getting jumped by these two crackheads. Whatever. Stop the car." And Alonzo couldn't care less.
But that's different. I don't think Alonzo saw.
I don't think Alonzo would have stopped. You think Alonzo would have stopped?
So?
What?
If I'm actively witnessing a rape?
I don't think Alonzo would have stopped, man.
Damn.
Alonzo had a schedule.
I'm
fair.
Agree. I wrote it down in my notes. That's it. That's in my favorite scenes. But I put in there, you got to figure there's a part in here where Hoyt getting his ass whooped and Lonzo lights a cigarette and he's chilling. Like he said, I would have shot them. Like he probably would have stopped, pop, and kept moving. Like I got somewhere to be. Like even when he helped him, the little help he did give him, and he wasn't impressed. What'd he say? Come on, man. Y'all three can stay here. Yeah. I got somewhere to be.
I'm gonna lead y'all three to it.
Yeah, because you ain't impressed. Cool, whatever. Like
I got stuff to be, stuff to do, people to see, all that.
Here's my favorite part about all that shit. It goes back to that manipulation. Guess why? Because what he say? No matter what I say to you, you did the right thing, kid.
You did the right thing.
Ooh, and if you him, that makes you go, yay, I did it.
Yeah, puff your chest up a little bit.
So shout out to Zell, man.
Damn, I think he would have stopped and shot.
Stop it. Don't do that.
Kept it moving.
Don't do that.
I think he would have.
He owe these Russians. I got to go.
I'm waiting for this girl today. Yeah, and that's the scene. That's the scene where he got the idea to your cousins from where? Okay. Yeah.
He didn't know that he had that wallet. That wallet is what saved him. He didn't expect him to have that wallet. I thought about that just now. Like that's what he didn't expect him to have that wallet.
Yeah, that was when he first got the idea. If I need to smoke this dude, I know exactly who I'm about to get to do it.
Yep.
Damn. Yeah, I love that saying. It just shows you the difference, like what a cop is, the expectations. You know, we always have these expectations of, you know, whether they're your friends, your family, you know, roles such as police officers. If a situation happens, this is your expectation. We expect you to do this. And Alonzo made his own rules.
I expected him to stop.
He made his own rules. He made his own expectations. That's just what it was.
I think he would have, even if it was a quick.
Jake wanted to get them off the street. And he was like, nah, for what? Like them, that's trash. That's not even worth my time.
And it goes back to what you was talking about too. Like, you believe that all these characters are really part of LA, bro. Them characters, as soon as Lonzo walked away, they was talking shit to Hoyt.
Right.
Yeah, I fuck you too. Like they was just none of that mattered. Like, and I believed them.
Yeah, and what makes me even more what makes it even more evident that he wouldn't have stopped because he started laughing like, "Where the suspects at? Go get the suspects." You want to go book? You want to book the 60? Where the suspects at, man? You let them go. I let them go. Like, yeah, man. Shit. Took their money, lost the rock.
Hey,
SH from Hillside probably gonna smoke them. What more you want?
what more you want? Street justice is what it is sometimes.
No, what's wrong with street justice? Like, that was a real convo.
Because he told her, remember he told her, old girl, get your cousins to deal with it.
Yeah, let the garbage to take care of the garbage.
Hey,
we get the big fish.
That's
School,
it.
what's your next scene?
The Snoop scene, baby. Shout out to
We
Snoop.
on one accord. We on one accord.
The scene is amazing because, for one, Jake should have known better. Like, you not rolling up in nobody's hood and just, I want some crack.
$20 worth. Like, nigga said crack.
And that goes to that manipulation again. Like, he hyped up Jake so much after that shit that he's like, you know what? I'm about to see if I can get him to fall for this dumb shit. Like, if you were any street cop, should have known better. Like,
right.
That goes back to just,
he's from the valley. Yeah. Like, you can tell he's from the valley.
Yes.
You out of the side of your realm, man.
And then the best part is when Alonzo comes and shows him how we do this. This is how it gets done in this part. Not the valley. It's how we do it. We stick that pin down his throat.
Right.
Nigga, we threaten him, drop bullets on the floor, nigga, 10 years of a bullet, nigga, like all that shit. That ain't how they do it in the valley, I promise.
Yeah.
Jake ass was shit.
Yeah.
Jake let him elbow him, knock him down.
You want to bag up the evidence?
Yeah.
My nigga.
Snoop knocked him down on the ground, man.
Yeah.
He did.
Told him, man, put me in the front seat when I'll bet you I'll whoop his ass.
Favorite quote. Favorite quotes. Can we pause and say Snoop is low-key a good actor?
Oh yeah. You don't gotta
wait till Baby Boy. We want to talk about it.
Wait till Baby Boy. Wait till the wash. Like, Snoop is, especially in this film, like you could tell that Snoop was like, I'm gonna be in a scene with Denzel and Ethan Hawke tomorrow.
Yep.
Like, I'm taking this shit serious.
Yep.
Because he killed it. Like, he did his thing in this, and it was only one scene, but he did his thing. Like,
you remember it. You want to watch it. I watch this scene every time I just randomly watch Training Day scenes. This is on my scenes to watch.
Yeah, I'll never skip it. Especially when at the time, we gotta think this is 21 years ago. So that was really at the time of rappers heavily getting into movies. You had your Ice Cubes and your Will Smiths and Queen Latifah's, but now everybody, Dr. Dre's in movies and stuff like that. So people were really like, Snoop killed it. Snoop did his thing.
He killed it. Snoop is my scene stiller, just to jump to that real quick. But my next favorite scene, because y'all have named literally all of my favorite scenes, but when we first get to his girl's house and he's like, one of my lovelies, one of my dimes, my love and touch.
And he meant that shit.
And he meant that. So that's our introduction to seeing him in the hood. Like, okay, this nigga think he is the one for real.
And you see the relationship he has with them. Like, there's this fake, thanks for what you did for my cousin the other day. Oh man, I can't stand
it. I still don't fuck with you. Yeah.
Yeah, Jake's asking who was them? Just some bust ass, fools. I got them all under my thumb. Like, there's no respect there. Like, and that's Alonzo with pretty much everybody, but that's a tense relationship. But since he's the police, he feels untouchable. I can walk with no other person. I can walk in the lion's den. Nobody else has this green light but me because I'm Alonzo. I'm the guy, and you ain't gonna tell me no different.
Yeah.
There's few people that I encounter in my world that talk so much shit that I wonder what they say about me, and Lonzo would be one.
Alonzo was one of them.
Like, I'm like, damn, I wonder what he be saying about me.
Right?
Shit.
Yeah. Felt you.
I'm gonna go right into the Three Wise Men scene.
Okay.
One of my favorites, and the reason I love that scene so much is I said it a couple times already. It shows that Alonzo's not out here by himself doing what he wants to do.
No.
There's still people to answer to.
Levels.
Yeah. And the system. What happens when the bosses are corrupt? You feel me? Like, they paying out for arrest warrants. Like, so it goes on the show. Like, this is a system. This is right or wrong. So many times we're able to see, they talk about the system being flawed, right? 99% of the time it's against us. What happens at 1% when it's against them? How do they handle it? He tells this story about this guy he's been chasing for months. Finally gets him, pleads insanity because he sticks to Jiffy peanut butter, licks his hands clean,
Judge falls.
And he says as soon as he's gonna get out, and when he does, I'm gonna find him on the street and I'm gonna do him. Nobody said a word. Like he looked at that like I got played by the system, the same system I played on so many people. Since I don't like the results, I'm gonna take care of it in my own hands.
Yeah.
Just like Alonzo been doing, it goes higher up, higher up, higher up. That's one of the best things I love about it.
Systemic corruption.
Absolutely. Like I said, just show how flawed it is, and it was just great acting overall.
Yeah,
you felt the good boy, the good old boys club. Like this is where, like I said, that's where Alonzo wanted to be.
Yeah,
he wanted to have that role, like somebody dropping me off some bread just for me to my signature.
Yeah,
going back to my baseball stake.
Yeah, and he loved the best part about that scene is when he tells Jake, "Shoot, fuck out of here."
Yeah, beat it, scram.
It's the big, like you said, it's the grown men.
It's a big dog table.
Yeah, fuck out of here. And they let him hear that story. That's all you gonna hear is that story, because we about to really talk now. Like,
right.
Sheesh.
And you get more and more into more about what Alonzo's going on, because at this point we know he in some shit with the Russians. People keep mentioning it, but we don't know what. Now the big bosses is like, hold on, man, like
you done got us in some shit.
Yeah, I don't want to see you. So this ain't that first time. I don't want to see you like the rest of those assholes on the front page, like doing this for years. Like I said, you got to have dirt on people, otherwise you never get to that level. That's the crazy thing. Straight and Narrow gonna be a patrolman forever because we can't trust him. Once you get past some doors, it's a whole different game.
Did it feel at all to anybody else like a mob meeting?
Absolutely.
Yes.
It felt like Alonzo was going to meet with the 5 families.
You need
permission. Yeah.
And I think that goes. It has a lot to do with acting. Has a lot to do. You love facial features and people expression acting, and bro, everyone at that table looked important.
Yes. Yes.
Just looked important. Like if I walked in that restaurant, I would probably sit far away from that table because I'm probably smelling like it now. Let me stop. But I just I just don't want to be around that. You feel me?
I want to know what they're talking about.
Because they look like they talking big business. So
absolutely, man. Great points. Great points. School, you got any other scenes for us?
Abso-fucking-lutely. No, you go next. Right?
Ray, you got it.
You go. Yeah.
I was just gonna say the whole Smiley scene, all of that, when he's over there with the Mexicans, playing cards, thinking it's a game.
That's
thinking Alonzo got his back. Thinking Alonzo's still there.
That's my favorite scene in the movie.
Okay.
That's my favorite scene in the movie. It's still intense to this day. I know what's gonna happen. I've seen this movie countless times. Can't even tell you how many times. The tension, finally hearing the story about what happened with Alonzo, the dude he beat up, why he's been doing all the trash he's been doing all day. You see him set him up. Obviously, they about to kill Jake shower scene, the big coincidence of him getting out of that, which I know a lot of people,
shit pushed in. Yeah.
You ever had your shit pushed in? I mentioned, here's the thing. I seen his gun. I want to see yours.
I want to see yours.
Playing with them, like, go ahead.
Do you know the Fuqua, what he did in this scene?
Yeah.
Famous. Okay. Yeah. Well, tell it. Shit.
Oh yeah. Well, he was giving the actor. He gave the other actors different instructions than he gave Ethan Hawke. So Ethan Hawke was genuinely confused at certain parts in the scene. Like he wanted that to be authentic and real. So there were times they were doing stuff or saying stuff that wasn't like scripted or anything. He was trying to figure out what was going on. So a lot of the confusion was due to that. And I like Cliff Curtis, man. I just think he's a great actor, and I just he just killed it as Smiley. And it also showed their morals and their codes. Like this is business. Hey, like look, I never shake his hand. He don't respect nothing. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing this just as a favor. What's up?
No, I was agreeing. That's it. Like,
yeah, that's a fact.
What everybody thinks of Alonzo. Everybody from every hood sort of had the same thought about him,
Yes.
You're a fucked up ass nigga. You don't stand for shit. You'll do anything. That's a dangerous man.
Dangerous. Super dangerous.
Super dangerous.
And the Roger death scene. I ain't mentioned that. When they broke in and stole the money, the murder. Pretty much.
Well, I was gonna say that's probably my favorite scene.
Okay.
and we talked about it. Well, not really, but I brought it up to you about the 3 strikes. Like, I think Lonzo in that scene gives Hoyt 3 strikes. Like he's not too sure. Like, am I still gonna do what I gotta do? Am I gonna include this kid? Do I want to? When he offered him that money, that was it, bro. When he ain't take that money, strike 1. You feel me? You pulled that gun on me, strike 2. Kill Roger, strike 3. Or it's the other way around. That might have been strike 2. But either or, those are his 3 strikes. And after that, it's over. You going to the Mexicans, brother. We gonna have to take you out of here.
Yeah, man.
I mean, you
But
offered
to
him
my
$250,000. Soon as he said the 3 million, and he was, hold on, I thought you said 4 million. Everybody was like, we got one of them.
Yeah, and if I'm another cop, I'm nervous too. That's why everybody's ready to take him down.
That's it.
And
he not coming.
That manipulation again. Who did you see shoot Roger? I saw Hoyt.
Right. Because they are a team. They are a well-oiled machine. Again, had Alonzo not have been moving scared and just doing shit, his conscious mind knew at even what we saw up to that point, Jake wasn't a nigga to go in there and do that shit.
Not at all.
No.
That's one of those. At what point do you blame though? Like, what point do you say
I
to him, like, yo, bro? Like,
I think he thought he still had a little bit in him. Hey, that man said the only checks I cash have LAPD on them.
He would still be alive. He would have made his deadline, made his shit, had he not have brought Jake into the Roger shit the second time.
Facts. That's all facts. Very well said, Rachel. That's 100% true. Yeah, your point too. Like that, he violated all 3 of them strikes, and he knew. Something I never picked up on until I was doing this rewatch. Right after that, when they're outside the house still, when Alonzo was on the phone in the car looking at Jake, he's saying, "Stop, lay off the rice." He's like, "Just make sure that bathtub is clean, homie." That's when he made the call to like, Jake got to go. Like he can't. You know, he could have spared his life, but he ain't take this money. He ain't do none of this, so now he got to go. He done witnessed us do murder. You got to take somebody else. If this was a hood movie, everybody knows like he a witness. You guys take the witness out.
That's it.
That's what it was. Yeah. Keeps his hands clean. Any other scenes that anybody wants to go over? Obviously,
the whole thing, the shootout, the end. That's why I said the whole ending. That whole last 20 minutes is crazy.
Picks up something crazy. It picks up something crazy.
And going back to your point earlier, Rachel, about the Russian, the reason they made that fight scene so brutal, they wanted to show how brutal Alonzo could be. Like this is what it would look like for Alonzo to beat a man to death, like when he was trying to beat up Jake. So that's why, since we didn't, there was a talks about doing a flashback scene to show what happened in Vegas, but they didn't do it. So instead, they were like, "This, we want people to see like Alonzo ain't no joke. We know that already, but everything he been doing has been with the mind, or other people doing it for him. Like, nah, I'm putting my fist on you, I'm putting my hands on you, and I'm taking care of business." So, man, beautiful movie, man. Not beautiful in that sense, but it was beautiful. Best quotes. I think we all can probably agree what the most famous quote from this movie is.
King Kong ain't got shit on me.
King Kong ain't got shit on me. What? Go to jail. Call me crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, King Kong ain't got shit on me. Like you said, if somebody who ain't even seen this movie knows that quote. Easily that from the movie. I got a laundry list of them, so I don't know how y'all want to do this.
Couple. Just go ahead. Let's just shoot them off.
All right. I'm ignorant, y'all. I'm ignorant.
My nigga.
And I love ignorant shit. You need a son, you let me know. I'll hook your old lady up. I can't miss. One of my favorite quotes, and this should not be one of my favorite quotes, but it is. I crack up every time he says it. I remember what it was. I have a pretty young bride. You probably fuck her face to face, don't you? Just to say that to that man after you just met him, like he was so amused by that line. I didn't know you like to get wet though. Like that's what you spoke. You couldn't taste it. Like, I've never done it. You have, but I haven't. Ain't like I
you
put
a Mormon.
Go ahead, cowboy. You got mad squabbles. Thanks for the help. Yeah, you should have shot him. You want to go to jail or you want to go home? Never been in a booty house. Big boys in there having you grab your ankles. Nigga said, "Suck my dick, bitch." I know people.
That's how it starts.
Yeah. I'll leave you one nut. Which one you want? You mad? You told him you mad, and he chuckled at him. Put me in the front seat. We talked about that. Macy Gray, punk ass, bitch ass, crooked ass cop. That remind me of the Stick Me episode in Boondocks. All that jelly, no toast.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the other one. That's the second time you pointed a gun at me. There'll not be a third. In this business, you got to have a little bit of dirt on you. How long you been a pig? A police officer. Been a pig for 19 months. You like it? I should have been a fireman. Not what you know is what you can prove. If that ain't the truth that everybody can carry in life, is not what you know is what you can prove. I'm surgical with this bitch, Jake.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I could have added like 10 more, but I stopped.
The only one I don't have that you have that I have and you don't is unlearn all that shit you learned at the academy. That shit will get you killed.
Period. I got almost all of that, and then the you a Mormon, what you a Jesus freak? That shit was funny to me, just because y'all know I'm saved. Then we already said put me in the front seat. Bet I whoop his ass, and then what is that? Crack, nigga. That was very funny to me. And then, of course, obviously, you disloyal fool ass bitch made niggas. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Another one is when they shoot where he shoots Roger and he go, breathe, dog. Like you hear Roger trying to breathe,
man. Breathe, that shit is dog. Crazy.
Yeah, this is like
he liked that shit, baby.
I don't think we've done a movie where I've written down more quotes. I don't think we've done one. Like there's so many quotes.
Okay.
Yeah, so many.
It's very quotable. You in the office, baby. Hit that fucking hydraulics. Like, what's going on here?
With the steel DRE drop.
With the steel DRE. Shout out to Hov.
That's classic. Do y'all remember when y'all first saw this? Like,
no.
Does anybody remember? I have no idea.
I don't.
I don't either.
Like,
I remember. Now, I will say this: it's funny how you cannot remember first time seeing it, even though how big of this movie was huge. Like I remember my mama talking about it, my dad, like everybody talking about this movie, but I can't remember the first time I seen it.
Yeah, and I'm good for that. I can usually about 90% of the films I've ever seen, especially in theater, I could have told you about it. But me and Rachel was 14, you was 12. Mm-hmm. Like I don't remember.
I know I didn't sit in the theater.
Yeah, I know you definitely wasn't in theater.
You was sitting in front where your dad's like, "Come on in here and watch this." Like,
nigga.
Right. Yeah, definitely wasn't in theater for sure. Scene stealers. You said Snoop. Who's yours?
Jake. Does that count? Does Ethan Hawke count?
No, he's in the movie way too much. He can't
primary character.
What talking about? He did his thing.
Nah, he's in the movie.
Macy, it's gonna be Snoop. Snoop.
I got a three-way: Snoop, Scott Glenn, and Cliff Curtis. Smiley, Roger, and Snoop's character.
Okay,
like
I can go Scott. Glenn, Roger. He definitely. I liked him, and that was the purpose of his character, was for you to like him. So when he gets killed by Alonzo, you salty, like, and it worked because I was salty. Like, damn, I thought he was cool.
I didn't have enough like emotional attachment, but I like Scott Glenn as an actor. Period. And he did enough to make you intrigued about that character. Like, you see me, I got questions like, what's this guy about? I will watch a prequel on his story. Like, how did they meet? Like, what's their story? We'll talk about it. But yeah, and Cliff Curtis, like I said, I'm a fan of his. I just think he did his thing as Smiley. Like, he looked like he wasn't with the shits. Like, he was really about to blow his head off. Like the scene in the bathtub when she tells him it was a police, what he looked like, and shoved that shotgun in his cheek a little deeper. Like, all of that was just great. And he really hung out with Latino gangsters because he wanted to make sure I'm doing y'all justice.
Yeah.
Be up here and look like Tupac and Notorious, or look like Anthony Mackie and Notorious, and just make everybody embarrassed. So they did their thing. Anybody got things that bother you?
No. Nah. The Zoe shit. Like, Zoe was just tripping, man.
Rachel, you got anything?
Yeah, leaving out of us, Black Sam's house, or that's from set it off from Sam's house. All them niggas sucked at shooting. Like, it should have been way more hoes in the car than them three in the
that's how it is.
Yeah.
That's what I said. There's no way Denzel should have been walking into them bullets.
Yeah. Y'all niggas suck.
He was ruthless. He let him off.
Baby, that was really pretty much my only thing. Because, like, why?
Yeah, I can't believe he really handed that woman a Chinese menu.
Yeah, he really gave it to her. Come on,
he gave it to her too.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I don't know how LA works, but after that shootout, there would have been somebody would have came to Alonzo and been like, "Yo, I heard you making some noise out in L.A. or you know what I mean, like you ruffling up some feathers, something like." There would have
But
been
they
something.
know who he was.
They don't know who he was, and people don't care about the ghetto.
So,
Yeah, there could be 10 shootouts. I ain't care. They getting their last.
Yeah.
They finishing their meal. We got to show up just to show
Mm.
face. But we don't care about solving this murder. None of that. They don't care. Alonzo knew what he could and couldn't do.
Yeah.
You see, when he needed to get permission, he got permission.
Yeah,
like he knew, like
he had to get it from Sandman.
He was drawing outside of the social lines, like he was coloring outside the lines there. But within his world, he knew what he could and couldn't, where he can operate. So I think that's probably it. I didn't have anything that bothered me, like really. Like I know a lot of people, like I said, they talk about it's such a coincidence that this guy got his cousin's wallet with him and saves his life.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they do a good job of showing that whole I feel like he, as a cop and the cop that he would absolutely pick up that wallet and have it.
Absolutely, and return it.
In return,
yeah. Which is what my thought was.
14 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Like he would have.
I never had a problem with it. I thought it was cool. And they even go on to say, like, everybody in this world has had something that happened to them that they cannot explain. That's a sheer coincidence. Or, I turn the corner and you see somebody. Oh, I was just talking about you. Like, that's crazy. I'm seeing you stuff that you can't explain. And if everybody's allowed to have those moments, why can't it happen to Jake in that moment? And I thought I remember the first time watching it and it was like, oh, snap. Like, I think, like I said, the tension mixed with that. Because I really thought Jake was going to die. I thought that was it. Like, because there was no other way I could see him getting out of that. Like, my man's set up for, like, you left for dead.
Hey, just so happened your boy wanted to rob him. Get that money off of you.
Yeah, so many things happen. And that's how life works sometimes. Like, you are it's one small thing away from happening, from changing everything. My man's never wanted to rob him and see that that's the wallet. If she didn't pick up the phone, if she never decided to fold and tell the truth, like all of these things could have went left. So yeah, I just love when movies do stuff like that.
Nope, I was in class all day.
All day.
I didn't miss one class. All right.
Okay, so what really happened?
Yeah, straight up. Any actors from The Wire? Nope.
No.
Still on a cold streak, y'all. Wouldn't let that happen to me.
Y'all ain't doing all that fucking shooting in my house with my fucking son in the closet somewhere in the living room.
Yeah, that was a lot. I didn't like the fact that he was going to Jake. Lonzo wasn't that bad of a damn dad. Damn.
What's going on?
Nah, man. You ain't got kids. I ain't going. I'd have been pissed.
Nah, like, all right, so they made a good point. When I was looking into stuff. He felt an attachment. Like, kids have this sense. Like, Antoine,
he's a good person.
Like, yeah, they have kids. We don't give kids enough credit for sensing certain things. I'm just saying. Lonzo probably never sat down with that kid once and watched cartoons. He probably never did once. You see, the most affection he gave him was he kissed his hand and put it on his forehead.
Yeah, and that's an illegitimate baby. Come on, that's just how you my son. I'm gonna speak this Espanol to you and keep it pushing.
Yeah, well, preserve life.
What? I'm gonna be even though y'all both right. As a parent, I still be mad.
Oh yeah, that probably was some ego shit too. But also, you have to remember he brought him over there and now in a familial setting. So you're a familiar face. You're friends with my dad.
As a parent of a 5-year-old going on a 6-year-old, if I was to invite a stranger to my home and then 30 minutes later they were to knock on the door, my daughter, I promise you, would answer the door because you was just here. You was just talking to my dad. You know what I mean? Like, you just introduced me to this person. Like, so yes, I absolutely get it.
And left you with him while you went and fucked his mom.
Yeah, you right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't a bad dad. If you weren't a bad dad, he would have given that. He would have Nino Brown that kid. When Nino Brown took that girl in the scene in New Jack City and used her as a shield for them bullets, he didn't care about his son like that. That's like you said, Rachel. That ain't my real son.
Yeah.
No type of credit.
Because I don't think he was included in the 4 sons at the end. You remember on the broadcast, like father of 4, that little boy wasn't. Alfoncito was not in that count of 4. The wife got 4 boys.
Rachel, there's a deleted scene for this film that shows, like, right after they leave their apartment, And he says, "Is that one of the 4?" Nope, that's number 6. That's 5 or 6. Like he got 6. He got 2 illegitimates.
Exactly.
He admits to in Jake. They took it out of the film, but yeah, nobody ever counts they illegitimates for their real kids. Unfortunately,
oh man,
they don't.
Man, I don't got none. I don't know none of these rules.
I
What's up, baby?
know these niggas.
What Gerard Carmichael say? The only thing worse than finding out you the second. Only thing worse than finding out your dad got a second family is that you the second family.
Second family.
Oh man, trivia. You got anything?
Oh, the only trivia I had was it's funny because Dr. Dre and Snoop are both in this movie. Eminem was supposed to play Jake Hoyt, but conflicts of schedule and
8 Mile.
8 Mile, I'm sorry. And I'm glad that happened because I don't want to see that shit.
I would that would not have gone well.
Zell probably would have dropped out.
What about Keanu as Jake?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of perfect. Especially, you ever seen Point Break?
No.
Okay.
You said, Rachel, have you?
No, I haven't seen that.
With Patrick Swayze. I think it came out like 89, 90, 91, maybe somewhere early 90s.
Yeah.
That movie alone makes me say, yeah, he could definitely be Jake.
Yep.
He could definitely be Jake. That's a good one, actually.
I know.
He might have been. But that's the only thing with that is I think The Matrix was too big.
Got it.
I agree. It just depends on the time.
On the timing.
No. Before, yes.
Now, if they made this movie in 99, absolutely.
Because it's Neo. You automatic. Some people are bigger. The characters are bigger than them.
Are bigger than them.
Well, I said with Toby, like, you know, if that was around Spider-Man, that would have been Spider-Man, and it would just been too much. So yeah. That's a good one though. Hey, Rachel, you been on your cast and shit.
Hello. It's what I was supposed to be doing. Shit.
Yeah, that's pretty much all that I have as well. A couple other things. Oh, now here's one I want to get your opinion on. This is another person that was considered for Jake, Christian Bale.
That'd have been awesome.
Damn.
Awesome.
Christian Bale can act his ass off.
And the reason I say is because if you don't know, listen to that man talk about Denzel and how much he admired Denzel Washington, bro. He would have brought it.
Talk about method acting. That's a pure method acting.
I would say he is a pure method actor.
And he go to work, he clock in and clock out. He don't be talking to nobody, none of that shit.
He probably would never even seen Training Day. He don't watch his movies, none of that. He one of them types.
Oh, damn, that was a good one.
Man,
Christian Bale would be it. If I was to replace Ethan Hawke, it would be a Christian Bale out of all the people we named.
Okay.
Ryan Phillippe was even tossed around there for a minute.
No, and I love Ryan. No,
some of these characters you making me say Denzel wouldn't have been in it.
Yeah. Well, before Denzel was attached, Bruce Willis was offered the role of Alonzo. A couple other actors that I didn't even take the time to write down. Mickey Rourke was the first choice for Roger.
Okay.
The studio said no.
I fuck with Mickey.
The studio said nah. I don't know what the story was behind that, but they told Antoine nope.
Okay.
Not him.
Damn.
So yeah.
Hit somebody's wife or something.
Maybe. I don't know. And then T. Rogers, the founder of the Black Pea Stone Bloods in the Jungle, he was on set for all of those scenes. He's the one that said, in exchange for you using our neighborhood, you got to cast some of us in it.
Okay.
No problem. You know, and obviously the studio and people were nervous about him doing it because, you know, you in the trenches in LA, like the real trenches, like not no fake stuff. And they was able to get in and move out. But Antoine did say, like, the ending scene, it took the longest to do because he wanted to make sure he got everything right. There was a lot of moving pieces and, you know, the lighting. And he was just like, man, like, there's a lot of pressure because you want to make sure you don't overstay your welcome in places like that. After a while, people get restless. I'm like, yo, you done been in our hood way too long, bro. Like,
yeah.
They don't care who you are.
Yeah.
So it was just real interesting stuff.
My legs getting scared.
Training Day, day of the riot. So that is in production right now. I don't think they're filming at this time. I don't think they've even cast it, but it is supposed to be a story of a young Alonzo. Rachel, you interested in seeing that?
No.
Okay.
Why? Excuse me?
I don't know much about the premise. Go ahead.
I think you're saying no too quickly. I would like to know more. Like, it's a lot of technology out here. We saw it with what's the movie with
Hold on, technology as far as trying to de-age Denzel?
a
I
little
don't want to
bit,
see it if it's that. I don't want to see if it's
a
that.
little bit.
I
wanna
don't
see-
want to see none of that. I want to see some new stories.
I think it would be you mean new characters in general, not even like recycled stories or new stories with recycled characters.
No, I want to see some new shit. Why
I
do we
feel
need a prequel? Why do we need a prequel to this?
I feel you, especially 21 years later.
But
21 years later.
you're not intrigued to see
No.
what led up to that.
People be
that
fucked
moment.
up. No. People are crazy. People get drunk on power. Let it sit where it's at
It's been 20-something years.
in 20-some years. I
I
don't need
will-
that.
I ain't mad at it.
My answer would be I will watch it, but I don't need it.
That part, I'll probably see it.
I'll watch it, but I don't need it.
I
Maybe
don't want it.
maybe if you announce this in 2004, then I'll be like, all right, cool. Like, let's see what they do with this. Maybe.
Mhm.
I do care about the character, and I think it's very intriguing. But I don't know if the intrigue would. I don't think they do it justice. Like,
Well,
it had to be a
yeah.
great story for me to be like, okay, cool. Like, they
Yeah.
really did right by that.
Well, that's what I hope. I'm hoping that it's something that we don't need, and we watch the trailer and be like, "Oh shit, I didn't know I needed this. Like, this is all right."
We'll see.
I don't know who would play Jonathan Majors.
Anybody.
I mean, we're gonna see. Like, that's big shoes to walk in, but we'll see what it's about. It's called, like I said, Training Day, day of the riot. I don't know if it might be going back to the
As long as it ain't
Rodney King riots.
That's probably what he really turned up.
Because he was a cop. We knew he was 13 years on the job. And that was
Mhm.
2001. So he would have been around during that time. Like, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Split decisions here about whether they want to see that or not here on the Culture Garden. So
I'm ready.
we'll figure it out. So
Ray P.
Too High, Too Low, Just Right. Training Day on average is rated by viewers as a 7.7 out of 10.
Low.
Ooh, is that too low, too right, too high, or just right?
I got it as an 8. So
Ray P, what you got?
8.5.
8.5 all day.
mm-hmm.
I don't know what it needs to do to go to a 9. Maybe the script a little, and I like the script. I love the script, but it's like I said, it's not like the most original story. I think the acting just took it way over the top. So yeah, I think that 8.5 is right for it. I think 21 years later, it's insane to say that, but 21 years later, this movie still holds up.
It holds up.
You can watch every single scene. You see how many quotes and how many scenes we all went through, like pretty much damn near the whole movie.
That's the whole movie.
Mhm.
Like, it's not too many parts where you turning away at. Like, it's just a great story of what happens when the whole system, is worse than what you thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And how do this keep happening? Because, like I said, you want to get through that door. You got that ambition.
That power, man.
I didn't think it was going to be like this, but now that it's like this, I can change it from the inside, whatever the case may be. Alonzo even told that to Jake. Like, we can change it from the inside. Like, when you get in, you can have my job. Like, I don't know the answers.
He just wanted to survive that night.
Yeah. I don't know the answers, but we just here to talk about movies. So, any last words about Training Day for either one of y'all?
I just want to shout out to the beautiful, lovely Leela Rashawn. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Antoine Fuqua's wife.
Yes.
Shout out to Leela.
I just want to shout out to everyone in this movie. Give out those roses. Denzel, man, you've given me so many memories, so many classics, man. Legend.
Yeah. One for the ages. Like I said, we don't get that Denzel often, so the time that he did get to do it, he put his all into it and walked away with an Oscar. Well deserved. Can't say enough about the film. So,
Training Day or American Gangster?
Training Day.
Soundtrack?
American Gangster. I'm taking American Gangster on both.
Hey, that's a combo. Hey.
Okay. We won't prolong this. We'll have that conversation.
We'll have it.
Very curious about that. I'll file that one away.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can't go wrong with either one. It's Denzel. Ironically enough, Antoine Fuqua, biggest regret of his career.
I know.
American Gangster. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. As always, it's a pleasure recording with y'all and talking movies and my thing. You
The
know what I mean?
gal.
Y'all make this thing roll, and I appreciate y'all every single time. Most importantly, all of y'all out there watching, out there listening. Can't do any of this without y'all. Like I said, we will be talking about movies anyway, but the fact that you are involved in these conversations mean a lot. Don't
We
forget to
love
follow
you.
the Culture Garden podcast on Instagram. Hit us up about that Wakanda Forever ticket giveaway.
Yes. Also, sorry to interrupt you. We have a Culture Garden Facebook. It's just the Culture Garden on Facebook. Look us up, man. Like us, follow us, all that. You know.
You know what I'm saying? Everything. So we'll get a Twitter at some point. You can follow our individual handles as well. We'll put them in the episode description. We don't got to do that all right now, but we appreciate y'all, really. Like, thank you. Can't say it enough. Episode 25 in the books.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with another one. Y'all be cool. How y'all be cool?
And cut. Peace out.